Hello everyone, today we have a lot of interesting stuff to cover in the AI industry as always, starting with Anthropic's new model Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which significantly outperforms GPT-4o and all other leading models. We also have some interesting news coming from TikTok, who has recently released TikTok Symphony, their new creative AI suite that includes digital human avatars, which we'll get into a little bit later. Finally, we have Factory AI's new update to their Droids, which might just be the best performing software engineering agents we've seen to date. To start off, I wanted to briefly talk about Ilya Sutskever and his new company called Safe Super Intelligence. If you don't know already who Ilya Sutskever is, he's a co-founder and former chief scientist at OpenAI. He was involved with the firing of Sam Altman and all that board drama from earlier this year, but I'm not going to get into all that. The point is he left OpenAI when Sam Altman was rehired and we haven't heard from him since. There's been plenty of speculation and rumors on why he left and what he's up to now, and we finally have an answer. So they posted this one-page statement that basically explains what their company's mission and goals are, and we'll briefly go over it. They believe that building safe superintelligence is the most important technical problem of our time, and their only goal and product is therefore going to be a safe superintelligence. Their plan is to advance capabilities as fast as possible while making sure they're also ahead on safety, and they're assembling a lean, cracked team of the world's best engineers and researchers to do it. So I'm really excited for this company. Ilya Sutskever is one of the most intelligent people on this planet, and for him to be putting all his efforts into aligning a safe superintelligence is honestly just really good for the world. Now, I'm not sure how often we'll get updates from this company. It seems like part of their whole thing is to stay out of the public eye to avoid external distractions, but if and when we do get any news, I'll definitely make sure to let you guys know. Moving on, we have to talk about Anthropic's new release of Claude 3.5 Sonnet because this is honestly pretty crazy. So as you can see here from this graph from Anthropic's website, they're showing us that Claude 3.5 Sonnet is not only smarter than any of their other models, but it also costs less relatively. This shows us that as these models get better, their costs won't necessarily increase. In fact, if you've been keeping up with AI for a while now, you'll know that typically as the capabilities of these models increase, so do the efficiencies in both software and hardware, making everything quicker and cheaper. They also mentioned that Claude 3.5 Sonnet operates at twice the speed of Claude 3 Opus, which further proves what I just said. Now, looking at the model's performance, we can see that it's outperforming pretty much all of the other big models we know of on most benchmarks. It loses only to GPT-4o on the math problem-solving benchmark and arguably the MMLU benchmark because its zero shot is only 88.3%. But what's clear is that GPT-4o is no longer leading the industry and OpenAI is potentially starting to fall behind, at least publicly. Who knows what they have behind closed doors. So they also showed a quick demo of Claude 3.5 Sonnet's vision capabilities and it looks pretty good. We've seen this before with other models where you can essentially feed it images or videos and ask it to organize the information in a certain way or simply ask it questions about that information. But the way Anthropic has designed it makes it super simple and efficient. As you can see, they have a separate window to the right of the chat where you can see exactly what the model is doing and update it or change it in real time. This gives us a better understanding of what's going on and also more control over the output. The model is also outperforming other leading models in most vision-based benchmarks by a pretty wide margin. The vision capabilities of these models are starting to get really good, and I think we'll start to see a lot more integration of these models into certain white-collar industries that involve data analysis, which is a good amount of them. Last thing I wanted to talk about before we move on is a new feature they've added called artifacts. This is the little window on the right that I was talking about before, which really just revolutionizes the way we interact with LLMs. As you can see here from this demo, you can create your own mini video game and iterate on it as much as you want without any coding experience. So Anthropic wasn't the only company to release a new model this week. Meta AI has also released a family of models that do a variety of different things. Here's a clip from their Twitter which explains briefly what they released.
What's included in the release today? There's a multi-token prediction model that can actually reason about multiple outputs at a time, enabling faster inference. There's Meta Chameleon, a model that reasons about images and text using an early fusion architecture. There's Meta Audio Seal, a new technique for watermarking audio segments. There's Meta Jasco, a technique for music generation that allows better conditioning on chords and tempo. And there's Prism, a data set that enables better diversity from geographic and cultural features.
So I'm not going to get into each model individually because that would just take too much time. If you want to dive deeper into it, I'll put a link in the description. But the major takeaway here is not about the models themselves, but what the models will be used for. So Meta is committed to open sourcing all their new releases to allow researchers to innovate and build upon their technology. They believe that by putting out these powerful tools to everyone, it'll create new opportunities resulting in potential advancements or breakthroughs a lot faster. I would certainly agree with this, and I believe the power of open source is often overlooked and sometimes even scrutinized because of the potential safety concerns, but in the long run, I think we'll start to see a lot of fascinating advancements from the community once they get their hands on more capable systems, assuming by then there isn't any laws or regulations against open sourcing. So something I wanted to show you guys that actually comes from TikTok, they announced TikTok Symphony, a new creative AI suite with a bunch of AI tools to help content creators on their platform. And one of these tools was Symphony's digital avatars. Now, this is pretty crazy because it gives us a glimpse into what the future of content creation might look like, and coming from such a massive social media app like TikTok, I was genuinely surprised when I saw this. So I'll show you guys a quick clip from their website of what these digital avatars will look like, and then we'll discuss it.
Say hello to TikTok Symphony avatars. These are AI-powered representations of real people, including TikTok creators like me.
They help brands and creators move faster, make more content, and reach more people.
With avatars, I can make content quickly. This avatar could make a product explainer within a matter of minutes.
With avatars, I can make videos at scale, since they can be produced, edited, and revised in no time.
So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty realistic, and especially if you're just casually scrolling on TikTok and you come across a video like this with a digital avatar in it, without the little AI generated text box in the bottom left, you probably wouldn't even realize it's not real. But what's so insane about this announcement is, again, it's giving us a glimpse into the future. Think about how valuable it would be to have a digital spokesperson for your brand that you can customize and tailor to your exact needs. Now think about having 100 different spokespeople for your brand, each targeting a different audience and constantly marketing for you 24/7. So TikTok's plan with these digital avatars is for them to be like a spokesperson for your brand or content, like I mentioned before, and we'll see what comes of this as more people start to use it. But to be honest, I'm not a big fan of having a digital human trying to sell me something. In other news, Google Deepmind shared some of the progress they've been making on their video to audio model, and it's getting really good. This model can add sound to silent clips that match the scene, and it can be integrated with a text to video model like Google's Veo. So the clips I'm about to show you are completely AI generated. You might recognize some of these clips because they were generated by Google's Veo and then later integrated with their updated video to audio model to create this. So obviously these are cherry-picked examples, but I mean, it's still really impressive, and it's another tool that gives us a glimpse into the future yet again. These video to audio models are starting to catch up, and it's likely that the next iteration of text to video models we see will have audio in them as well. As we continue to see these massive improvements in both video generation and audio generation, it feels like a fully AI generated movie is right around the corner. We also had an interesting announcement from Hedra or Hedra Labs where they previewed their foundational model Character 1. This is a model that creates digital characters from a text prompt or based on an image. In their tweet here, they say this is the first step in Hedra's mission to building a multimodal creation studio accessible to everyone, where creators will have complete control over emotional dialogue, movement, and yes, entire worlds. So it looks like they have a lot of plans for the future, and based on this demo I'm about to show you, it looks like they're doing really well.
To tell stories that stick, you need more than just random clips.
You need characters that can talk, express, and...
Wait, does the script say rap?
I'm all kinds of bad when I drop on the beat.
This clip reminded me of Microsoft's Vasa 1, where they took still images of people's faces and made them talk. Of course, this technology is not out to the public yet, but I can't help but think of what this is going to look like in the future. If we can truly have virtual characters living in simulated worlds, then what's to say we aren't living in a simulated world ourselves? Now, I know that's a crazy leap I'm taking, but if you just look at the direction these companies are headed in, you can see that within a few years, we will probably have fully simulated worlds with many different AI characters living within them. Think about the video game Grand Theft Auto, but imagine every single NPC in that game being an intelligent AI system. Eventually, if these AI NPCs get smart enough and can generalize, what's to say they won't become sentient? And if they do, will they even know they're in a game? Now, of course, that might not even be possible, but it's definitely something to think about. Okay, on to a less scary note, I wanted to briefly talk about this partnership between OpenAI and Color Health, where they're using GPT-4o to help doctors treat cancer. So, as you can see, they're using GPT-4o to help organize and analyze medical data. When it comes to treating cancer, timing is critical, and it's important for the doctors to have all the information they need as soon as possible. Because of how busy doctors are and how much information they work with, it's common to have missing information that may be critical to the patient's health. Using this tool, healthcare providers are able to identify 4 times more missing labs, imaging, or biopsy and pathology results, which is amazing. This is the type of news I love to hear, and I'm looking forward to seeing how AI continues to transform the healthcare industry. Finally, to end off the video, we have Factory AI's latest updates on their droids. So these droids are agents that can solve problems for software engineers, kind of like Cognition AI's Devin. If you guys remember Devin, it was pretty popular a few months ago when it released because of how well it performed on the software engineering benchmark. It was way ahead of leading models at the time, scoring 13.86%. Now though, things have changed. Factory AI's Code Droid is leading all models with a remarkable 19.27% on the SWE Bench Full and 31.67% on the SWE Bench Lite, which is essentially just a smaller and easier test. The only other models that really come close to it are GPT-4o and Amazon's Q. So we didn't get any live demos for this. I'm sure they'll release some soon, but the point is, if these numbers are true and it's actually performing as well as they say it is, then the progress we're making on AI agents is honestly outstanding. AI agents is the future, and within the next couple of years, I think we'll start to see systems that are capable of doing a lot more complex tasks from start to finish completely autonomously. It'll be interesting to see how this affects certain industries like software engineering, data entry, customer service, etc., and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. Do you think we'll still have software engineers by the end of the decade? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay up to date on future AI news, make sure to hit that subscribe button.